Being a woman in New York City is incredibly exciting, yet comes with an immense amount of stress and worry by just being simply in the streets. Harassment and catcalling is a package deal in the city, which women have to accept and endure if they want to live here, if they want to thrive here. No matter who you are, we all come across it. So in this documentary, I want to look into friends, especially young women, who experience this on a daily basis and how they've been able to really live in a city like this.
I think that it's really sad that my experience in New York is a complete 180 depending on whether or not a male is standing next to me or not. When I walk through the street with my boyfriend, it is pure silence. It is fine. I feel safe. I can wear what I want. And with him not by my side, my experience is completely different. I get catcalled. I get harassed. Literally, women have to go through verbal and sometimes physical harassment every single day of their lives living in New York City. And it's quite literally the best way to see how much improvement is needed in men. Like, truly, like, it's, what's the best way of saying this? I feel like it's just like the truth of how far we have to go is so evident in this city, and that's how I feel.
That when I moved to the city like 3.5 years ago, I think that I actually felt a lot safer, and I think that like ever since COVID and like coming back, you don't feel as safe, like specifically on like the subway station. And I've heard like of so many like stories of like, I mean everyone, but also like primarily women like being attacked and having like a lot of like verbal and physical abuse like on the street. And so I feel like now when I'm like walking around, I'm like super hyper aware of like my surroundings and like just kind of monitoring everything. So yeah, it's pretty scary. It's kind of terrifying.
When you live in New York, it's pretty much inevitable and unavoidable that you're going to get catcalled, especially as a woman. And there's so many instances I have of where I'm just walking, minding my own business, and some man yells out like, "Oh, hey Bella," like, "Oh, looking good, sweet stuff, like you're so hot," or just like, "Damn," and they just eye you up in the most uncomfortable way. And there's really nothing you can do about it except for ignore it and move on and hope they go about their own business. But yeah, being in New York, catcalling, it's a real problem, and it's not stopping. And there's nothing really as a woman you can do about it. You're not going to yell back because you don't want to provoke anybody and get yourself into a dangerous situation. So it definitely is one of the things you have to get used to while living in New York City.
And dealing with catcalling and harassment in New York can be super stressful at times and make me feel very uncomfortable. I could literally be wearing a sweatshirt, an oversized hoodie, whatever, sweatpants, and feel super uncomfortable when I walk out of my house because I literally will get catcalled, or I'll get a comment or something when I look. You can't even see how I look. So yeah, being a woman in New York can be very uncomfortable at times.